Hi, I'm Sarah from Appwrite. Today I'll be taking you to a tour of our new console. For those of you who are new to Appwrite provides you with all the APIs that you need to build web apps or mobile apps. And basically the console allows you to interact with those APIs and troubleshoot issues. For those who have been using Appwrite before, this is the same console that you know and that you love, just has a new look and a few new features as well. Alright, let's start. This is the screen where you will land after you sign up. As you can see on top you have a getting started guide now to make it a bit easier for you to make your first request. So we ask you to add a platform. You can choose any platform that you want, and you can also choose to actually first set up an API key or webhook. But let's go for setting up a web app. So let's click there and fill some data in here. And as you can see, we have this new flow where you will be guided through the process. So instead of jumping between the documentation and the console, you can just easily do everything in the console now. You can copy all the code examples that you might need. And then when you're done, you have created your first project. Okay, moving on to the main project dashboard. Here you'll find all kinds of stats around your project. So for example, bandwidth usage that you are using, the requests that are coming in, your real-time connections, as well as some other stats around your Appwrite services that you're using. So for example, the amount of documents in databases, your storage usage, etc. Underneath you can see the platforms that you have added to your project. So that could be either web apps, Flutter apps, anything that you might like. And here you can also add a new platform. Here you will also find a new place for API keys. Your API keys are now listed here, and you can also create a new API key from here. Something that might be easy to miss is that we have a new profile drop-down here where you can switch from organization. So we actually have an organization level now, where you can easily kind of organize your projects into different organizations. So for example, you can have an organization for your personal projects and then an organization for your more professional projects. And in this dropdown, you can also switch from light and dark mode. So this is our dark mode, but I'm gonna continue in our light mode right now. And if you want to go to your organization, you can go either from here, or you can click in our new breadcrumbs navigation as well. And here is your organization overview. Here you can add more projects if you want to, and you can also manage your members here, so invite other people to your organization. Okay, moving on to our auth service. I'm now in the home screen of the auth service. Here you can see the overview of your users, and you can now also search by, for example, name. You can also search for ID, email, or phone. You can still manage your users into teams in this tab, and we have a new tab for security. We wanted to make sure that it's a bit easier for you to manage your security around your app. So here you'll find some security settings like users limit as well as session length. And then all the auth method settings are found in the settings tab. Here you can manage your methods like anonymous login or magic URL login, and you can also enable any OAuth2 provider that you might want to use. Okay, databases. This is your database home screen, and here you'll find your different databases that you have in this project. If you go inside a database, you'll find a different collection that the database has. You can also create a new collection, but let's go into a collection for now. On the home screen of the collection, you will find all the documents that are inside this collection. We made the first column with the document IDs actually sticky, so that if you have a bunch of attributes inside this collection, you will always see the document ID inside. Inside here, you can of course manage your attributes and have some quick actions like creating an index or deleting. I'm gonna highlight a few more things, like for example, here you have your activity logs around the collection, some stats as well in usage, and settings. Here we added some new things, like for example, making it easier for you to handle your document security. So you can easily with this toggle choose if you want to either handle it on document level or on collection level. You can also update your permissions here, and we have some handy shortcuts like adding permissions to all users, or perhaps selecting specific users in here. So you can handle all of those here, and we even have custom permissions as well. All right, this is the functions home screen. Here you can manage all your functions, which is basically custom code that can interact with different Appwrite APIs. Let's create a new function for a moment and see how that works. So we have a new guided flow for that. Here you can add the function name, select the runtime, and then in the next steps, this is all optional, you can also skip this, but we just wanted to add some more guidance. So you can choose who can execute this function here. So for example, all guests or all users. In the next step, you can also add some events that will trigger the function. We have this in a bit more guidance as well. So through these pills, you can kind of create different events that you might want to have. You can also actually just go into the input fields and type directly here if that's easier for you. But let's create this for a second, and then in the next step you can schedule it with cron syntax, and in the last step you could also add some variables to the function. Alright, then you have created your function. Now it's still empty, you don't have deployments yet. So let's go to a more used function for a moment so you can see how that looks like. So this function has been used, it has deployments, and this is the deployment screen where you can on top see your active deployments, and then on the bottom your inactive deployments. In the executions tab, you can see a log of your executions, and then in the settings, you can change all your settings. So basically in the flow that you saw before where you are going through the steps, you can always edit those things in this settings screen if you want to. So you can still change your execute access, your events, the scheduling, and you can also update your variables here. Okay, we're now in the storage screen. In storage, you can basically manage your files into different buckets, and this is the overview of your different buckets. Something new that we have added is that you can now directly see here if a bucket has encryption and antivirus enabled. Let's go into a bucket. Then you'll see what kind of files are inside this bucket. You can actually now also search for a specific file. And if you're still uploading files through the console and they're in progress, you can see those inside of this modal. If we click to a specific file, you can see a bit more data about this file. And similar to databases, we have changed the permissions, so you can now manage them either on file or bucket level. Okay, we're now in your settings of your project. In this screen, you can see your API credentials. You can also select or disable the services of Appwrite that you want to use. Here you can also now find your custom domains, so you can now add a custom domain in this new version for your project. And in the webhook tab, you can see your webhooks, and you can also create a new webhook. For this, we also have a new flow. In the second step, we'll ask you to add some events as well. So similar as in functions, you can now click and create different events that you want to have. And then in the last step, you have your security settings. Just gonna skip this for now. And then you have added a webhook. All right, I hope you enjoyed this short demo of the new console. We're constantly striving to improve it, so if you have any feedback or comments for us, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to us on Discord or GitHub. We're always happy to hear from you, and thank you for watching.